What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's your boy Noname back at it again with another Giants update video. And if I sound a bit tired or my words are coming out a bit slurish, I apologize. Kind of have a headache right now and just took 2 pills of Advil. I don't know why. But happy New Year's Eve to all y'all out there. If you guys doing anything, hope you guys have fun with it. But let's get right into this video. I'm gonna call this the coaching update. I think I'm gonna have at least 2 videos a week on the coaching updates out on this. But I don't really expect it to take that long for us to sign a new coach because these interviews are going by very fast. To me, it's faster and a more thorough process than they were doing it last time. But we have a bunch of candidates that the Giants have taken a look at. The one that's already been taken up, Ron Rivera, former coach of the Panthers. Ron, defensive-oriented coach that had a lot of success in the Carolina Panthers with Cam Newton, and Luke Kuechly over there. He signed a 5-year deal with Giants conference rival, the Washington Redskins. Now, even before Rivera was signed, I wasn't exactly I wasn't a fan of signing him for the Giants. I don't know why. I just never thought he would fit. And everybody keeps talking about, oh, he has chemistry with Dave Gettleman, and I don't see it. Just because the guys work together doesn't necessarily mean that they liked each other or even mean that they had any sort of chemistry. Nah, they just worked with each other for a couple of years and it didn't work out. I mean, there was a reason Gettleman had to leave the Panthers and then come to the Giants. Just because they worked doesn't mean that they necessarily had some type of good relationship going there. And also, I don't think I don't think he would have fit with Daniel Jones. Maybe he wouldn't have liked Daniel Jones. It's just something that was off about him for me for the Giants. I'm glad he finds some place in the Redskins. We'll see how he does over there. The only reason I mentioned it is because he was a coaching candidate and he happened to sign with our division rival. Moving on, the next guy up, who's personally my favorite and apparently a lot of Giants fans' favorites, Matt Rhule, the head coach out of Baylor and Temple. Matt Rhule is a guy from the college level that is known for turning around bad programs. Specifically Temple and Baylor. Both of these football programs, when he joined, were bottom at the barrel, and when he left Temple, they were a great team. When he's left Baylor, well, he didn't leave it yet, but Baylor has a bowl game tomorrow on New Year's Day. When he got there, I believe they were a 2-win team. Now they have a bowl game. That just speaks the volumes, and he's only been there for about 2 or 3 years, something like that. So he turned around that team that quickly, and he's proven that he could do it more than once. Matt Rhule, he seems to be the perfect candidate for the Giants. He's also not somebody that is like a lot of these other candidates that's calls plays, whether it's on the offense or defense. He's more of that kind of old school, kind of by the definition role of head coach, where he just makes sure everybody's prepared. He does a lot of game management. He does a lot of staff and player management, and leaves the play calling and all of those stuff to both the offensive and defensive coordinators. And the one reason he does that is because when he comes to a new program, Matt Rhule, I don't think a lot of people notice, when he got to Baylor and Temple, he built his own coaching staff by using successful coaches that he scouted from the area. So when he got to Baylor, he went and he looked out on the high school level and in the college level for coaches that were available that had great success or that would fit his system, to bring them in and build a new cabinet of sorts to help and have his team succeed. So I hope he does that if he does come to the Giants, because that would be great, because I do not want James Bettcher to return. I don't think he's the defensive coordinator for us, especially this year, the huge step back that our defense took. And yes, we had a lot less experienced players, but it was still very, very disappointing to see how truly bad our defense was. And Mike Shula, I believe we will need either way, whether he fits or not. Any coach that comes in, they will want their own offensive coordinator to have their own offense for DJ to run and for Saquon to be in. But Matt Rhule is my favorite coaching candidate. And every time I hear a report about him, I saw the tweet and entertainment video that came out about how he turned down an interview with the Cleveland Browns, and now all reports coming out are saying his top 2 destinations are the head coaching job for the Giants and the head coaching job for the Panthers. And then there was another tweet, I think it was by Schefter, I could be mistaken, in which Matt Rhule called the Giants his dream job. But he's not going to come here unless it's the perfect situation, as with a lot of these coaches. And so Dave Gettleman is going to need to give up a bit of that power. And I think that's going to be the same thing for any other coaching candidate that I'm about to list out. He's going to need to give up some power, especially in the free agency, because he's not good with it. And while I love the way Gettleman drafts, he's definitely going to have to give some say to whoever the new head coach is going to be. Otherwise, we're going to get stuck with another Pat Shurmur type coach, somebody that's really desperate and just wants a job. And I don't want to be stuck with that again. As much as I love that Gettleman and his drafting, he has to give up some of that power, and the Giants have to make him give up some of that power. Talking to the management, front office, Maras, and the Tishes, you guys know what you got to do. But Mara was my personal favorite. Other good favorites of mine, Josh McDaniels, offensive coordinator out of the New England Patriots. I wouldn't mind having him as the head coach. I would definitely love having him as the offensive coordinator, but I don't, much like Matt Rule, I don't see him leaving the Patriots unless it's a perfect situation over here. That's the whole reason he did sign with the Colts as their head coach and then turned it down, I think like a month later or something like that, before the season. Is because he didn't want to leave New England. He realized that the Colts were in a perfect situation. He went back to New England. They got another Super Bowl eventually. Another candidate, Mike McCarthy, just came out earlier today, I believe. He's going to have an interview with the Giants sometime this week. I'm personally not a fan of McCarthy, and the reason for that is because the way he parted ways with Green Bay, and this could just be Aaron Rodgers being arrogant, so to say, but he didn't exactly part ways with the players on best of terms, and that reminds me of what happened with Ben McAdoo. If we bring a coach in here, I want them to have a good relationship with the players, and if the reports out of Green Bay are true, which describe McCarthy as kind of this lazy guy that was taking massages during team meetings and stuff like that, I don't want that for the culture of the Giants. I want a coach that would be definitely a lot more involved, and he is very accomplished. His win-loss record shows that. The fact that he has a Super Bowl shows that. But that's not all that I'm looking at when I'm looking at for a head coach for this team. Somebody else that I unfortunately have to mention, and I really hope never really comes up again, is Jason Garrett. But he is technically a coaching candidate because he's most definitely going to get released by the Cowboys. If he doesn't, I'll be surprised because at this point, they missed the playoffs. They went 8-8. I don't know why Jerry Jones would keep him on. And he has been linked to the Giants. Once again, very unfortunately, he has been linked to the Giants. I hope nothing comes out of that. You guys know how I feel about Jason Garrett. Somebody else from the Cowboys, Chris Richard. This is somebody I don't mind as much. I would love to have him as a defensive coordinator. I'm not sure about head coach. But Chris Richard is doing great things over there for that Dallas defense. He came up under the Legion of Boom. And he will be somebody great to help develop the young talents on our defense, much like he did in Seattle from 2010 to 2017 when he was there. Much like a lot of these defensive coordinators, one of the main reasons of Giants fans are seeking a defensive-oriented head coach is because it's honestly the weakest part of our team, and it's the weakest part of our team because the amount of experience that's on there. It's also the youngest part of our team. You need a coach that could come on and coach them, develop these players properly, and help them become the elite players that they all can be. Chris Richard is definitely somebody who can do that. I would love to have him as a defensive coordinator. And the only reason I'm not sure if he's head coaching material is because he's probably the one person on the list with the least amount of experience, so to say. You could argue Matt Rule, but Rule has been a head coach for lower programs. Another person, offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy, the Chiefs offensive coordinator. He's been credited with the great MVP-like, as some people call it, Alex Smith season that he had in 2015, I believe, or 2014, that first and second season that Alex Smith was there with the Chiefs. Eric Bieniemy was the mastermind behind the offense that let it run. I love the way the Chiefs offense runs. I mean, almost anybody that watches football does. It's a thing of beauty because he incorporates everybody on the offense. He incorporates the running backs as well as the wide receivers, and they are lucky enough to have, talents such as Patrick Mahomes. At one point, Kareem Hunt and Tyreek Hill on the wide receiver side to fulfill the offensive plans that Bieniemy runs. And I believe, I don't want to say we have equals to that on the Giants, but we definitely have comparable talents in a Saquon Barkley who's better than Hunt, and a Darius Slayton who's not up there, on the same speed level as Tyreek Hill, but definitely close. Darius Slayton is one of the faster receivers in the NFL, and a young quarterback in Patrick Mahomes that I believe Eric can help develop and help. Did I just say young quarterback in Patrick Mahomes? My bad, guys. I mean young quarterback in Daniel Jones. Yo, man, hey, he has performed like Pat Mahomes a couple times. You can't lie about that. But if he can help DJ develop a bit more and show some of that explosive talent that was shown in Patrick Mahomes, why not bring on Eric Bieniemy? And finally, the latest coaching candidate that also came out earlier this morning, Wink Martindale, the defensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens. The Giants have requested an interview with him. This is somebody I did not expect at all for them to request an interview with. Somebody like everybody else on this list, I don't think is leaving their team unless it's a perfect situation, because the Ravens right now are probably the best team in football, and Martindale has had great success with it when he's been their defensive coordinator for the past 2 years. Last year, he brought that defense to the #1 overall defense in the NFL. This year, it dropped only 2 spots to #3 overall, so honestly, I don't even look at it as a con because of the amount of players that defense lost. They lost a lot of their big-time players, especially through the linebacking core, which is what Martindale specialized in. He came up as a linebacker coach first before he was the defensive coordinator, and he still managed to bring that, honestly, that starless Ravens defense up to be the 3rd overall defense in the NFL. He's a great mind and a great coach to do that. You have to give him respect for that. And he's coached under Ravens. He's learned under Harbaugh and a lot of great people. Martindale is honestly probably one of the most disciplined and one of the best minds you could have in mind for a head coaching candidate. And like I said, he's not somebody that I think I would have ever thought of the Giants interviewing, because I don't know what the probability of us getting him is. I don't know what that is, because the Ravens are honestly within their Super Bowl window. They, every team, once they hit a certain peak, they have a window of 3 to 4 years where they could win a Super Bowl. This is the first year of that for the Ravens, especially with the way Lamar Jackson is performing, the way their defense is performing, which is obviously heavily linked to Martindale as he's the DC. I don't know if he's going to leave that. Like, why would you want to leave that? Sure, you could be a head coach, you could be your own guy somewhere else, but you also have a chance to win a Super Bowl and create history with your current team. So I'm not sure how feasible this is. It would be great if we could get him. It really would be. He could, once again, as I said, with just like with Chris Richard, he could help develop that the young talent that we have on the defense. Like the other more disciplined coaches, he could help bring some type of culture to this Giants locker room, and he honestly could be one of the better coaching candidates on here. But just for the fact that of the team that he's playing for, but the team that he's working for right now, I don't see him leaving. I honestly don't. If he does, once again, it would be great. But this was just a quick update video for you guys, kind of summarizing all the major head coaching candidates out there for the Giants. Obviously, there are more than this, but I want to list out the main ones. Like, I still know there's Robert Saleh out there, the defensive coordinator for the 49ers. There's still guys like the LSU passing coordinator, I forgot his name, that helped Joe Burrow get to his Heisman Trophy winning season. There's still other coaches out there that are possibilities and technically candidates, but I don't think they have as big as chances as these guys do. Once again, just a summary video. I'll try to have more like these up throughout the week, but I honestly believe we might be with our new head coach by this time next week, so we'll just see how that goes. That's what I got for y'all today. Let me know what y'all think. Please put your comments down below. I love chatting with y'all. Like, share, subscribe. I'm out. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Put your comments down below. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Until next time, I'm out.